Welcome to 15 minutes of a consulting Q&A live. Welcome, David.
Hi, Maria Isabel. It's good to see you on a Monday.
Good to see you on a Monday as well. By now, most of you know the dynamic. You send us questions about your consulting practices, and we answer them live if you have live. And if you had pre-sent us questions, we will go through those as well. You're all welcome to participate as much as you can in the comments. We love when these sections are interactive, and we can hear from you as well and learn from you as well. Today is 9/11, which is a sombering date for most of us. So no, we're thinking about it, and we're thinking about those of you who were directly impacted by 9/11.
Yeah, which a lot of us were. But let's dive in, if that's okay. Jaren, for those of you who are used to being here every week, we have Jaren operating the control room today, not Deidre. So, Jaren, what's the first question? Let's give it to Maria Isabel. Should I invest the time to reclassify my network? Historically, I haven't used your ABC designations, which Maria Isabel, maybe you can explain. Should I? Also, I have about 5,000 people in my network. Is that a good number? When do I delete any of them? Okay, a bunch of questions in here. Maria Isabel, what do you think?
So thank you for the question. So yeah, 5,000 people, it's quite a few in your network. And let's dive in. And that gives us a hint about why the question, right? So A, B, C designations have to do with level of warmth. And your A1s and your B1s are part of your network cores. Your A2s are part of your network core as well. And those are the folks we want to be in touch with. 1 and 2 refer to their decision-making abilities. There's a third one in there, right? So 1 are decision makers, 2 are folks who are strong influencers, and 3, it's everybody else. Once you have those designations and you're asking, you have 5,000 people in your network, is it worth doing the exercise? Absolutely worth doing. It's a very valuable exercise. Now you have 5,000 people, don't do it all in one sitting. It will be very painful if you have to go through each one by one. For everyone else, regardless of how many people you have in your network core, it's worth looking at your master list about, I would say, once a year, right? In reclassifying your network, you will figure out who are high net worth prospects that somehow fell through the cracks. And that in itself will make the pain of going through this very administrative, very manual exercise worthwhile. With 5,000 people in your network, chances are you have about 200 folks that are your network core, which is somewhat of a healthy number, right? So focus, prioritize your efforts, start with folks that you know are A1s, that you know are decision makers that could buy your work and that have a warm relationship with you, right? That they will respond to an email, will recognize your name, have some sort of an ability to converse back and forth. David, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. And the same answer. It's A's, which are great relationships. First of all, the categorization is worth it. And it's worth doing the exercise. So I would say 100%. The short answer is yes. Do the exercise. Is 5,000 a good number? It's an irrelevant number. The number to look at is how big is your network core, and and how many A1s do you have? If you can have 100 A1s, that will support. We have seen a sizable 8-figure firm. If you have 300 in your network core, that's a good starting point. So yeah. Right. I'm in the same place. There's a couple of questions. Should we jump in a couple of these? Rick's got a question here.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. So Rick, thanks for asking the question. You're planning to limit your practice size, and it's tough. Too many people want you. How do you say no when you're at your limit without threatening future revenue? It's a really fair question, and there are a few ways at this. There's part of it and there's a depends answer because we're consultants and it always depends. So one is, does the person that you're talking with need help right away, or can they delay? So if you're at your limit and someone needs help right away, then the right side up thing to do, the thinking about your client first, is to say, unfortunately, as much as I would love to help you, I can't, but let me help you find someone. I have some other folks in mind. And that's just right side up. Does it preserve future revenue? It certainly preserves your reputation and how they think of you. So I think it's probably fine. You could, if you want, subcontract to someone else, but that's going to change the dynamic of your firm. What we've seen is it's often folks don't have huge urgency. We've run into this problem because we sometimes have a 5-month wait to work with us, and we just tell folks it's a wait, and we're very sorry. Is that okay? And if they're like, yeah, you know what, we're okay for 2 months or 3 months, then you're actually preserving and building future revenue because you're winning business for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 5 months out. But I think those will answer most scenarios. Maria Isabel, what do you think?
I agree with you. I think there's always a fair amount of a timeline give and take. And also feel comfortable, Rick. If you say no, like David shared, make sure you're saying no in a right side up way. Why and how are you going to help them, even in saying no, right? What can you do?
Yep.
Joanna, you asked before we jump into Dana's question, where can you see a list of the network classifications? We love your question. Thank you for the softball. So David wrote the Irresistible Consultant's Guide to Winning Clients. It describes that in full detail. Our articles also describe the network core classification in full detail. And you can always reach out once you review both, and we'll give you additional elements to think about. So thank you, Joanna, for your question. Dana said, happy Monday to you too. You're planning to attend an industry trade show next week, which is your first major show as an independent consultant. Congratulations. What's the best way to plan your time at the show, looking to drive awareness and visibility of your practice and build your prospects? David, what do you say?
So I'm going to answer that in 1 second. Rick, will you let us know, because I didn't ask, did we answer your question sufficiently? So just give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment or whatever. And also, Joanna, do you feel like you have direction on where to find that information? So having said that, trade show, how do you maximize your time at the trade show? There are a couple of thoughts. You should go in knowing who you want to meet. So what's your top 10 list? Look at who's going to attend. If you can get the attendees, look who's going to speak. You might want to create relationships with the speakers. And also, if you want to speak at that conference next year, then who's running it? Those are the folks you want to meet. If you go in knowing who you want to meet, you will likely meet them. And just create conversation. Don't sell. Don't try and hawk your business. It doesn't really work for consulting. But do create relationships with the people that you have intention to meet. We have a client who does a really good job at trade shows of when he wants to meet speakers, of live tweeting those speakers, or Xing, I don't know, whatever it is, while they're speaking, something complimentary, because then they see it. It goes into their feed and they can see genuine interest and attention. That's what I would do. Find your people. What do you think, Maria Isabel? Anything else you want to throw on top of that?
Sure. And there's an add-on piece to that, which is what you do immediately after the conference.
Oh, yeah.
Oftentimes folks come home, right? Conference, exhausted, made a ton of connections, and forget that part of the reasons why you wanted those relationships are for what's happening after the conference. So create a plan for follow-on with the folks you really wanted to connect, whether you could say hi for 5 minutes or actually have a conversation during the event. What is going to be your follow-on with that? And within 2, maximum 3 weeks, try to get another conversation in the book or another touch point with them.
Okay.
Joanna will write everything in the comments for you once we're done. And thank you to you, thank you to Rick, and thank you to for providing questions.
Should we let's jump on one of the questions that people submitted ahead of time. Jaren, what do we have next?
Right. This question is for you, David. So, can a solo practitioner grow a business without having to grow their team?
Oh.
What are some ways of doing that without having to let go of that very personalized approach to working with clients or having employees? And I think this question applies equally for boutique firms. So, David, what do you think? Can you grow and not let go of that personalized approach?
Yeah, I agree completely. I think we can broaden it to all firms because I think they have this question of, can we grow and maintain personalized client experience? Can we grow without adding complexity and cost? Also, just to, I guess, clarify for folks who are listening that consider themselves solo practitioners, or those who are like, I don't know if I am or not, don't get caught up on that, on the definition. Being a solo consultant does not mean you have to work alone. Matter of fact, we would suggest no consultant ever work alone. Typically, if you were solo, it means you're the primary business development engine, you're the primary delivery engine for your projects. But you can still have administrative staff, contracted analysts, other support, all while being solo. And we know solo practitioners who actually have fairly large virtual teams. So don't get caught up in definitions, but let's go back to the question. Can you grow without adding staff and without losing the personal touch? And the answer to that is absolutely. Of course you can. You bet you can. A couple thoughts. One, the more repeatable, more standardized your offerings are, of course, the easier it is to scale without adding full-time staff. Conversely, the more nuanced your work is, that makes it a little bit harder. Though we have found that consultants sometimes overestimate how nuanced their work is. It might be more standardizable than you think. And then the experience, a personalized experience, is actually fairly easy to maintain if you take the time to create a well-crafted, intentional client experience process, where you think through all 6 stages of the client experience. So that's my short version. I'm not sure that was super short. But I would encourage you to dig into our IP around client experience, because I think the person who asked, that was the biggest question. But other thoughts from people listening, or Maria Isabel, you want to add anything?
The only thing I want to add in complement to what you just said is there are roles that are more related to delivery. There are roles that are related to managing an engagement, and there are roles that are related to leading the client relationship. Think about those layers, and all of them exist in any engagement that we do, in any project that you do with clients. Which ones drive the client experience at the level you want to maintain, and where do you need to inject personalization? So go through that framework with kind of that lens of different layers. All right. Love the conversation going on in the comments. Thank you so much to you who have provided the links. And
can I do a 30-second answer to Stuart? And then,
yes.
And I know we're going to hit our 15 minutes here really quickly. First of all, Stuart, congratulations on exiting your planet, on planning your exit, and being on the way out. That your question about how do I share profit and equity and all of that? That is a complex topic. That's one worth honestly having a personal discussion, as opposed to trying to do it in a 15-minute quick Q&A. So that's my question, my response on this one. We're doing this right now for another firm, and you need to think it through. There are a lot of choices to make. So there you go. And with that, thank you all for coming. It's crazy. We've managed to blow through another 15 minutes already. Before you go, I have 4 quick notes for you. First, if you're not connected with me or connected with Maria Isabel, down there is our LinkedIn. Please connect with us. Please, please, please. It's a nice way to see what's going on, for us to see what's going on with you, and for you to see what's going on with us. If you're not subscribed, and it sounds like there's some folks here who aren't subscribed to our articles, get those. Read them. You'll like them. You can always unsubscribe or just laugh at the silly illustrations. Next note is to, if you have questions, ask them live, but you'll see we've got a really good queue of questions because people are submitting them. So submit your questions. Let us know what's on your mind and we'll answer it. And the fourth note is even though LinkedIn makes it very difficult to sort of subscribe to this, we're making it easy. Jaron, where is it? Down there, has put a link. You can just put this in your calendar. Every Monday, have it pop up, go to davidafields.com/Monday Live, and it will bring you here. We're updating that link every week. So that's it. Thank you for being here. On behalf of Marie-Isabelle and myself and Jaron and our whole team, we hope you have a fabulous week and hope you remember that consulting is about them, your clients, your prospects. So give them value and give them kindness. And we'll see you next week.
Ciao.